Hi. So I'm going to break down what a custom wig is because not everybody knows and it's important. It's important. Because when it comes to quality, it is definitely reflected in the details. I can definitely see that there's different ideas to what custom is, which is cool. But getting the details and understanding the process will guide you to understanding what you're getting. What do you want when it comes to custom? What does it mean when you're going to get a custom wig? What does the process look like? What does it mean? Okay? Okay. I have here a wig. I have hair, then more hair, and then I have caps. I have one with a lace and one without a lace. And this is raw hair. Okay. And this is raw hair that was double drawn. Oh, wait. I dropped it. This is a Weft's. Okay. So this is basically most of the parts when it comes to a wig. This wig is made out of all these parts, right? And when it comes to making this wig, I've made it custom to myself. And what that means is I customize it to myself from the beginning. And so if you think about this hair from the beginning has the intention through each step to get to this. So if I want to achieve a particular wig, like if I had this in mind, then I have to start from the hair. I have to start from choosing what kind of hair texture, what kind of hair length, the body, and so once I choose that, then I have to decide on the double drawing. So the double drawing is basically, you can see from the top to the bottom, there's no layers. So if you can see, with raw hair, you can have some layers, like how it goes low density, and double drawn hair doesn't. So it's like heavier. And this also affects how the wig is going to be. So if I make a wig that is only with this, then it's going to have a certain look. If I make a wig that's with only like this, it's going to have a certain look. So that's the second step. Then let's say if I have in mind that I want this color. So you can see it has dark roots and it has really, really blonde ends, and it's a custom color. And what I mean by that is that if I select dark hair, like the root, and then I have to color it with the blonde bits, it's going to damage the hair. If I choose very blonde hair and then root the whole wig, that's also not going to come out as natural. So from the beginning, I have to choose what color hair I want. So because I have this intention in mind, I choose a particular color that will be something usually in the middle, and depending on the placement of the actual hair, I will change it a little bit. So if I want to put darker or lighter in some places, I play around with it. I'm also focusing on the texture. So let's say when I make the wig, if I make a wig that has the wavy hair like this, and I put it towards the top, it might create some volume. So selecting the hair is one part, and I'll give you kind of the opposite. Let's say you see a wig that's a stock wig or that's a ready wig, and you take that wig and then you add color to it and you customize it with color, or like let's say with texture or even density, so you can like remove or add and so on. So that's also customized, but it's customized to the piece. So that's like two different ones, and it's going to give you different results. Then I'm going to give you another example. So the cap on this wig is customized to my head from the beginning. So before I put any of the wefts on, I take this cap and I customize it, and then I put the wefts on. Only once this is ready, then I'll put the wefts on. So this is one option, that you take a cap and you customize it to the client or to yourself in this situation. And once it's ready, then you continue the build. The other option is, let's say you have a base wig or a stock wig and you customize it to your cap. So you can take it in, or you can make it slightly bigger, and you can adjust certain things, but it was already made with a certain size, which means you are customizing the cap to you. So that's two examples so far. So we have the hair and the cap. Now let's go on to the wefts. So the wefts is everything but the lace, which is just the top. So you guys can probably see here. Let's say that's the lace, and where the brown is, that is the wefts. Should I put this? Let me put this on the head. Okay. So, I'll put this here. Okay. Now we have a cap, and it has the lace so you guys can see. And wherever the brown is, then that's where the wefts are. Obviously, there's other options like hand tied, but all of this is going to be full of wefts. And when it comes to the wefts, so can you guys see? Let me just see. Actually, let me do it from here. Be a good one. I hope that's not really scary to look at. It's normal to cut the wefts, just in case. Okay, so you guys can see. Hold on. Okay. So, can you guys see that the density is different, right? Throughout. That's a little bit of an obvious one. So here's a little bit thicker, and then here's a little bit thinner. So when it comes to custom wigs, in the sense of taking the raw hair, deciding if it's double drawn or not, based on the build and the density and so on, and taking the wefts and sewing it onto the cap everywhere besides the lace, when it comes to the placement of all the wefts and the density of each one, it will change the wig. If I want to create this wig and I want it to be, you see how it's like thinner at the bottom? Personally, for me, because I'm small, this is really helpful and I can have it longer and it's not too much. But at the same time, it can get tricky. Like, how do you choose what hair to put onto the weft in what density that it still looks good overall? So there's a custom build, there's custom patterns to selecting this, which means that when I select the density and the type of hair and the construction beforehand and decide how I want to build it onto the cap, it allows me the space to create something like this from the beginning. I went from raw hair deciding on the color, length, texture, to double drawing accordingly, to then selecting the density and the placement of the wefts, to then creating the base. So all of this is custom according to what we're trying to achieve. Other option is, let's say you have a wig from stock and the wefts are already chosen for that particular wig. I'm going to use this one example. Let's say you have just a standard way of building this up with a standard amount of wefts, and the client comes and she wants to make it thinner and lighter. You can customize it and remove some of the wefts and kind of play around with the build and make it less, which means that it's customized to the client, but it's still different when it comes to customizing it from the beginning. So that's the wefts. Now we're going to talk about the lace top. Lace top is actually the most customized part, I think, for a lot of people. But again, so like if you create your lace top from the beginning, let's say, let's go back to this wig. So to be able to create this wig and to create it with like the height that I like and with the baby hair, then I need to select from the beginning what hair I'm placing in what areas to achieve this, like to make sure that it's not like too heavy on the top, to make sure it has the nice movement. And when it comes to the hairline, that's very much customized to someone's head shape and if they're wearing like their bio hairline or not, and so on. So when it comes to the color of the hair on the lace top, that's also really particular. Like, you can really use color to shape your face. So if you have a narrow face, or if you have like the parting in the center or the parting on the side, you're able to really play with that. Let me see if I can put my wig on. Oops. Okay, so you guys see how it looks on the head, and you can see how it's framing the face, okay, and there, and you can see the placement of the hair and the colors is going to make a big difference. And obviously the baby hair, you guys can see even here how the color is going. Like, it's so pretty. And being able to achieve this and starting from the beginning in the sense of custom, this is how I create this. I create it from the beginning with the intention of whatever I want to create. And I'm able to then customize it, but the base has to be good enough for me to be able to work with. So I'm also thinking about the quality of the hair because as you guys can see, there's a lot of blonde here. And I want it to move nicely. I want to make sure that the quality stays really nice. I really wanted the darkness to go with my bio hair, so it was really important to choose and select a certain kind of hair to create this dimension. Oh yeah, another thing is that when I talk about illusions in the sense of custom and how you can achieve certain things, so because it's darker over here, then and it's like more height at the front, so this is connecting to the height, then it's going to be really thin and flat towards the back, and it's going to create this illusion of looking really natural throughout the whole wig. And I'm going to give you guys another example. Let's say there's a ready wig and someone customizes the front. They are able to take the front and customize it to you if they even have like an extra piece of lace. Actually, let me get this on, hold on. So let's try to explain this part. Let's say that there are a lot of companies that they get lace tops and they leave a certain amount in the front and they customize the front to the client. And that's one option of customizing it. And the more lace space you have, the better. So the one thing to have in mind, and this is also for wig makers, is that if you have ready wigs and your hairline kind of stops, let's say around here. So I'm just going to use the line. And let's say you want to customize it for the client and you want that space. So you're going to basically move this back and then you're going to fill this up, but it's going to affect the sizing. And the same the other way around. Let's say that your hairline's here and you need to customize it in a certain way that you actually need to move everything back. Same idea. This is going to come forward and it's going to affect the sizing. So this is really important for either wig wearers or wig makers, and just to make sure that when you get it customized that your cap is not going to be adjusted too much or adjusted. Basically to make sure it's not going to be affected, okay? So what I'm trying to show you guys is the difference of custom from scratch and customizing a wig, because what happens also with that, there are companies that they will still buy raw hair and they will still have a standard way of making it, and they choose the pattern and the details, and they either do it themselves or they outsource it, which is still one way, but being able to customize it from the beginning is very different to getting a wig customized. So it's really important to understand that a little bit further. So let me know if you guys need more on this, because there's definitely a lot more details. But it's a start. It's a start to understand. Okay, that was fun. And oops. And if you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll make some more videos on the answers. And again, if you have any experiences with custom or customize that you guys understand, let me know. Okay, then I will see you later. Bye.